Until this September, I've never had an Apple Watch or any smartwatch for that matter. When Apple released its Apple Watch Ultra, I was primed and ready to get one. I had my eyes on buying an Apple Watch for a while anyway, and seeing this ultra rugged watch made from titanium that finally promised to have decent battery life, that was right on the money for me. Until I saw the price. That is outrageous. Now, I have spent more than $1,000 on a single watch in the past, so that's not really the issue for me, but this is a piece of tech and it's going to be next to worthless in 5 years, unlike most mechanical watches that you could buy for that type of money. So with that in mind, on the evening that the Apple Watch Ultra was announced, I found a deal for the first gen Apple Watch SE in the 40mm case size for less than €200. And so, I just went for that one instead. Over 3 months have passed since then, and much to my own surprise, I have actually been wearing that Apple Watch SE almost every day. So was it the right decision, or should I have gone for the Ultra instead? Let's talk about it. Okay, so I already said that in the beginning, but this is my very first smartwatch. And for the longest time, I've simply not been interested in smartwatches at all. I do love watches though. I bought a SIN 104 in 2019 to celebrate my law degree, and I bought a hand-winding Junghans Maxbill in 2021 to have something smaller and lighter as well. Both of these watches are of course mechanical. What finally got me interested in smartwatches is also nothing new. I simply wanted a device to more accurately track my fitness and my activities, because as someone who does work a regular office job, I sometimes do struggle to get enough movement and activities into my daily routines. One thing I do, however, have absolutely zero interest in is getting more notifications and messages even on my wrist now. And that is why I turned all of these notifications off from the minute I started using this watch. Before I decided on which watch to buy, I also looked at a couple of other options like the Fitbit Charge 5, but finally decided to go with an Apple product instead, simply because I'm already completely locked into their ecosystem. My Apple Watch SE came with a blue silicone strap, which wasn't bad, but I never really liked it. I do, however, very much like the Alpine Loop band for the Apple Watch Ultra, but since that one isn't available for the small 40mm case size, I had to buy a knockoff version from Amazon instead. It's not the highest quality item in the world, but it feels rather comfortable on my wrist, and it also looks the part. But what about all of the performance that I might be missing out with this Apple Watch SE? Well, truth be told, I'm probably the furthest thing from being a power user, but at least I try to close my rings every day, unless I have the flu or COVID or I'm otherwise deathly ill. First of all, 40mm is a perfectly usable size for an Apple Watch, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on screen real estate here. So what you're seeing right here is my favorite watch face, because it allows me to see almost all of my favorite functions at the same time. I got the weather forecast right in the middle, which is especially useful when I want to decide if I'm going to use my bicycle to go to work or not. Date and time in the upper right corner, the exact time the next sunrise or sunset will happen in the upper left corner, which is just a nice feature, especially if you, like myself, enjoy sunrise or sunset photography. And also again, it is just nice because it tells you if you're going home on your bicycle in pitch black darkness or not, if you time your exit right. With the 3 icons on the bottom, I can start a workout, track my activities and use the compass, which also shows my current altitude at all times. Lovely. Speed, as in performance, has also never been an issue with this watch, and as long as I charge it every evening, neither has battery life. Now, having multiple day battery life would of course be nice, but truth be told, as someone who is used to winding his watches every evening, it hasn't really been an issue for me to just charge it for an hour every evening. Other features that I've actually enjoyed more than I would have expected are, for example, the sleep tracking function. I always knew that it takes me too long to fall asleep, but I never would have guessed how bad my sleep rhythm actually is. And with this newfound knowledge and tracking ability, I was actually able to make some significant changes in my life that had massively positive effects on my sleep rhythm, which in turn also certainly had positive benefits for my overall life quality. Having all of this data and not just relying on a rough estimate on how much time I spent in bed and how much of that time I was probably asleep or maybe not, it's just better. Also, and this is certainly a benefit for my wife as well, waking up with a slight tap on the wrist is so much better than waking up to the god-awful sound of your alarm clock going off. But yeah, those are pretty much all of the features that I do use on a regular basis. A couple of honorary mentions. I do also use Siri a couple of times a day to set a timer when I make tea or coffee or whatever. and every now and then I use the Reminders app to tick off some of my to-dos, and that's pretty much it. In terms of sports, I honestly don't do too much. I ride my bicycle to work whenever I can, and I also use it recreationally. I use this watch while running and while playing tennis, and of course for hiking. I do, however, not do any extreme outdoor activities or long distance endurance sport. So I guess if I'm being completely honest to myself, I'm probably not the kind of person that Apple designed the Apple Watch Ultra for. So with all of that being said, I am very happy with the Apple Watch Ultra in the 40mm case size, and not even once have I thought to myself that I should have gone for the Ultra or even the Apple Watch Series 7 or 8 instead. And that kind of stuff doesn't happen all too often for me. Usually it's kind of the other way around, because usually I start with a cheaper product than the one that I actually want, and I then end up spending more money to get the product that I should have gotten in the first place. Not this time though, and I'm quite happy about that. Oh, and just to have it mentioned, the extra ruggedness that the Apple Watch Ultra would bring to the table is also not really a deciding factor for me anymore, because I dropped this watch a couple of times to the ground and so far it doesn't even show any scratches. The only feature that I am actually missing with this watch is the always on display, but truth be told, that feature would not be worth the financial upgrade to the Apple Watch Ultra or even the Apple Watch 7 or 8. But yeah, that is at least one feature that I am really missing with this watch. So what do you think? Is there any other feature that I might have missed about the Apple Watch Ultra? Are there any other benefits that I've not mentioned in this video and that might actually even change my mind? Because mind you, I obviously haven't used the Apple Watch Ultra, so I cannot tell you anything about that watch. Well, if so, let me know in the comments down below. But that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Leave a like if this video was helpful to you in any way. And till next time, take care. Bye bye.